Cup rankings, and there Justyna Kowalczyk, terrific pace in the time trial for this double Olympic and double world champion. 5 here, Stina Nielsen. Boy, is this a hot semi-final. And 14 in picture, Prochaskova of Slovakia. I think she's done extremely well to get into the semi-finals. So under starters orders, the rules are the same. First 2 across the finish line by right, and then it'll be the lucky loser. 2 of them from the 2 semi-finals.
David, as usual, Kowalczyk in the dark suit there. Never the fastest start, but it's as soon as she picks up momentum, we can expect great things up this big, huge climb coming up very soon.
Ersberg characteristically going up early there. Celine Brunli, the other Norwegian in the orange headband, just about in 3rd place. Justyna Kowalczyk 4th at the moment. But remember, also in there, the tall figure of Ida Ingsmar-Dotter, the silver medalist from 2 years ago. Good start by her.
Very good. Stina Nielsen again, 2nd place at the moment, looking so comfortable. Makes the technique look very easy up this steep climb, or the lower part of this steeper climb coming up.
But it's Justyna Kowalczyk pushing herself towards 2nd place here, while Ersberg does the work. And Justyna Kowalczyk looking very powerful. Nice short strides. One of the things we know that she's been working on is technique while she's been preparing from mid-January, and takes up the lead, which she knows she has to do.
She has to do. Ersberg looking worried, but cannot contend with this turn of pace from Kowalczyk. But Ersberg will have the better line on the top of this rise. No, she won't.
No, that could have been really nasty. And in 3rd place there, still Stina Nielsen in 3rd place. Prochaskova in 4th place, and Ida Ingsmar-Dotter has dropped away. And suddenly, Justyna's injection of power and pace, and now we're into the downhills. She's not great here, but I tell you what, she's looked better than we've seen her for quite a while.
She does indeed, she does indeed. She needs to inject that same turn of pace now, because they're very quickly catching her up again, and she's turning the pace on again up the 2nd climb.
Yeah, I like the way that Stina Nielsen is hunting in 3rd place there. I think that's really good. But look at what's happening to Celine Brunli, wearing bib number 10 there. She's almost at the back of the field, and Justyna just turning the screw.
But look at Brunli, her skis are less effective on the up, but they're faster on the down. There's less grip wax on there, but she'll catch up on the glide.
Yeah, that's Ersberg.
Hey, Ersberg, I beg your pardon.
And Ersberg being followed by Stina Nielsen, coming to the Wiesmann Bridge now. And Justyna hasn't got the cushion of advantage that she had in the quarterfinals. Now let's see how the skis run.
Well, Nielsen again. Look at those fast skis from the Swedish camp, looking good. And of course, Ersberg catching up with Kowalczyk as well.
Do you think those rumours about the Swedes having a superstructure for warm and wet conditions?
It's looking good.
Now Ersberg on the outside there, but she can't get in front of Justyna Kowalczyk, just slipping.
Slipping again and again, and that's where Justyna has gone for maximum grip, but sadly a reduction in the glide factor.
2 by right, 1 will be the lucky loser here, possibly.
Oh, Justyna needs that inside line, the fastest line. She's got it if she wants to get through here.
Now you look at the double poling strength here, and Justyna Kowalczyk from nowhere in the World Cup. Stina Nielsen challenging there. Ersberg for 2nd place on the far side in the white race suit. Justyna Kowalczyk almost out of gas as she comes to the line.
Look at
it's
Nielsen.
A really long 100, and Stina lunges for 2nd place and puts Ersberg into the lucky loser pool.
David, that's a huge surprise. Ersberg has been looking so good lately, but she wasn't really at the races there, and her skis let her down on the rise, expending more energy, having less towards the finish.
So Stina Nielsen, who's got a really good recent race record here, and of course Sweden with no disrespect to the other racers, are really pinning their hopes on her, and she's squeezed into the World Championship finals. Justina Kowalczyk, well, she's taking a lot of energy out of herself. It's interesting that she just relaxed over the line there. 3:28.90.
And in a sense, David, when she set the fastest time earlier today, that's now allowing her greater rest time than the second semi-final, so she can recover longer. Well, this is how they started. Justina Kowalczyk, typically she hasn't the turn of limb speed to get her initial pace up, but on the top of the steepest climb, she's got a tempo and a turn of pace to match anybody. And I love the way she has improved her double poling, the tempo especially, to make sure that she can find another little gear change towards the finish line. And I think that was brilliant from Nielsen. Didn't look like it was possible she could get through into second, but she believed it.
And look at the progress she's made from finishing 10th in the Olympic freestyle sprint last year. And so on to the next quarter-final, and it's going to be, semi-final. And again, it's the same situation here. So Falun, the Olympic champion. Wisnar, who really impressed me. There she is in that sort of lemon Slovenian outfit, but Marit Bjørgen. Now, Marit Bjørgen looking for a 20th gold medal. And when you consider Marit Bjørgen, you have to consider Kaspersen Falun, the Olympic sprint champion. Marit, by the way, has won the world title plenty of times. Wisnar, fourth 2 years ago.
And very impressive earlier in the quarter.
Scheitnes looking good. This could be a very dominant Norwegian race here. And 12, Niskanen for Finland. I think we may see her to some success before this championship is over. And Sophie Caldwell for the United States. It used to be Keegan Randall, but Keegan Randall's never been comfortable really at classic skiing. It's the freestyle. She'll go in the team sprint.
Well, clean start, no problem at all. You just sense that the red suits will want to dominate this, but Wisnar very early on saying, no, I want to lead this one.
Bjørgen, of course, is the defending world champion, having won in Val di Fiemme 2 years ago. Falun, she is the Olympic champion, having won just last season. But it's Wisnar who was fourth. And I was really impressed not only by the physical work, but that also she knew in her head exactly where she wanted to be and when she needed to be there.
Yeah, very, very clever. And Janis Vodičar taking over the cross-country as leadership, has given good direction to this improving Slovenian team.
Falun, who is definitely improving, finished second in Östersund, so really on the upward curve, taking the edge. Marit Bjørgen hunting in third place behind Wisnar. Then you've got Scheitnes in the red suit. On the near side, 12, that's Niskanen in Finnish blue. And at the back, Sophie Caldwell on the far side.
It's very tight. Scheitnes beginning to up her pace just a little, realizing she needs to get with the action and not behind the action.
Kertun Niskanen also coming right in front of Wisnar, and Wisnar struggling now. What a difference between the quarter and the semi.
Often, David, you see that you put so much out on the quarter-final that you've got little left for the semi, but then you still need something for the final if you make it that far.
It's a Norwegian 1-2-3 at the moment. Scheitnes in third, Bjørgen in second, Kaspersen Falun in first place, and Bjørgen, as so often happens, Mike, as the competition unfolds, looks better and better.
Her strength and her endurance, David. It's called a sprint. Well, it's not really at 3:24, and she's great when it comes to continual sprint racing.
She's much better balanced up here, isn't she?
She is, and it's the strength. Look at the strength of her legs. She just raises up, puts the hips a little further forward. Scheitnes has really come back into this one as they crest the top of the second rise.
So Marit Bjørgen will now be thinking very carefully. Do I stay where I am? It's probably the right thing to do. Just stay on her ski tails, come into the stadium and get that little bit of glide and relaxation on the flat and attack at the base of the hill.
Well, David, yesterday I know they only had 1 hour track time, but all 6 Norwegians were practicing this descent and how it works.
Marit Bjørgen positioning herself for the attack, now goes into the double pole.
Geitnes staying low for longer, recovering slightly longer.
Yeah, but Kaspersen Faller had great glide on her skis there, and that helped her. And she's got that length advantage over Marit Bjørgen, who's being forced to try and come around the outside. And the advantage almost given away to Geitnes. Remember, it's 2 to go through and a lucky loser. And this is pretty tight. And Kaspersen Faller, who has been improving week by week, now really showing why she, you know, is as good as she is. But it's Bjørgen who's come through on the inside, taking the better line and powering home when it matters most.
It's a fast time to beat 3:29 to qualify, to get through, and it's going to be faster.
Yeah, and that was an easy 3:28.9 for Bjørgen. Faller in second place, Geitnes 3:29.9. So Geitnes is going to go through.
She definitely is.
But not Niskanen.
No, not Niskanen.
Looks like Sophie Caldwell. Oh, no, sorry. Just thinking of the previous semi-final. We'll just concentrate on this for a moment. Up against some tough company here, and Simeon Hamilton for the United States looks really up for this, and so he should.
Very relaxed on the line, you've got to say.
Really important, Mike. You know, you might be aware that you're the outsider, but you cannot allow that to come into your head. He is nearest to us, which means he has the worst seeding, because he is not set up for the first right-hander. But you just clear that out of your minds.
And in a sense, I think you're right, taking the pressure off almost, and Hamilton just playing nice and comfortable, as he did last time in the early part of this race. It's all about the arm power, rising up high on your toes to get maximum drop through your ski poles.
So the defending world champion, Nikita Krukov, on the left of the picture there. He's vying for the advantage at the moment, and leads up there, and shadowing him there, that's Risto-Matti Hakola from Finland in the blue.
Schneider, David, exact same as last time. He was at the back at this stage, and then all of a sudden he decides to move up the ranking with an incredible pace.
Question is, does he have the pace to do that for a second time? You see, he's under a little more pressure now, because the pace is just that little bit more keener there, and Hakola is the man who is making this pace as they go up the glide there.
Beautiful technique, head upright, looking way up the hill to keep the hips forward.
Pedersen very focused on the far side there, but getting crowded by Krukov. He's been done no favors, and Pellegrino has managed to advance ahead of Theodor Pedersen.
Now Pedersen, I'm not sure if he's got a ski pole problem there. There's something wrong with his hand grip. One of the athletes skied over his pole and it's coming out of his hand.
Well, it was a coming together there with Pellegrino, who overtook him, but I'm not quite sure whether it was actually Pellegrino's fault. But Pedersen's back in the race now. He's sorted himself out, and he's gone back into third place. So Hakola leads here from Krukov on the right of your picture. 4 coming out there. That is Uli Schneider, and this is where he looks as if he's going to try to make his charge. But Hakola will not be denied, Mike.
He will not. Schneider wasted a huge amount of energy, and look how much further round the track he has to go, but he's desperately trying to get through. He just can't.
Pellegrino second in the Sprint World Cup rankings behind the absent Norwegian Finn Hågen Krogh, who still, it amazes me that he's not in this competition. As they come down now, this is the back straight here, and this is where you need to be really careful.
Great skis from Krukov. He's allowed to rest a little longer, but they'll soon be on his case.
Pedersen, nice glide up on the inside. He's got to follow Krukov. He doesn't have any choice. Hakola's still there with him.
Pedersen needs to watch he doesn't get wedged into this bend.
Pellegrino coming round the outside, almost galloping round Krukov there. Pedersen's got a decent line if he can get it, but Pellegrino's got first run. Now, has the Swede got anything to get himself into the final? Here he comes on the near side, in the white. Krukov has to go on to the far side. Pellegrino on the near side, it's Pedersen. Krukov, the world defending champion there, gets ahead of Pellegrino, and Theodor Pedersen is looking for a lucky loser spot into third place, 3:05.9.
Oh, what a race. Krukov looked very convincing. He held his nerve on the glide into the final climb, held it a little longer maybe than he should have, but he had a great turn of pace there in the final 50. What about Pellegrino? When he wants it, he can change pace in an instant.
Well, what he's showing, Mike, is that although his 3 victories have come in freestyle races, he's as accomplished in this code, and this man has really moved forward, Pellegrino. Second in the World Cup rankings. He's only 24 years of age. He was 12th 2 years ago in the World Championships. In the World Cups this year in classic races, 7th, 13th and 10th last weekend, but he's come here prepared, and there you can see it, 3:05.89, so that would put, well, 3:06.60 for Theodor Pedersen. Anybody faster than that might be pushing him out of the way. And when you look at the next semi-final, it is frightening.
It certainly is.
I'll come to that in a moment, but here we can see the dash, and Krukov here looked much better here than he did in the quarter.
He did, and I think he had better grip this time, David. The technicians, as we're losing daylight here, is getting colder, his skis are working better. That was very convincing, and I feel sorry for Schneider. Did everything right in the qualifying, everything right in the quarterfinals, but he was misplaced this time.
So, well, how do you announce this?
Oof.
This is a little like the Norwegian National Championships, but it happens to be the World Championships. Ola Viggen Hadestad, the Olympic champion of freestyle last year. Thomas Northug, who won his first ever World Cup race in Ottawa. Alex Harvey, who was second last weekend for Canada. Toni Ketelai for Finland. Petter Northug, the favourite according to the bookies this morning, and Erik Bransdal. 4 Norwegians, a Canadian and a Finn. And here is Alex Harvey, looking buoyant, and I do think he has a chance.
I think so. I really hope so. It's a great company that he's alongside.
There's your Olympic champion, only 9th 2 years ago in the Worlds in Classic. Now, Thomas Northug. Remember, he did all the donkey work in the quarterfinal.
I think we're going to see the same again this time, David.
And Petter Northug, the centre of a storm all through the spring and into the autumn because of a very bad driving offence, and Erik Bransdal, but that driving offence won't be in Petter Northug's mind now. It'll be about getting into the final to try and achieve the 1 gold medal that he's never won, a sprint gold.
Well, on the line, David, Thomas Northug looked so nervous. Hadestad looked the same cold stare that he had at the Olympic Games. Absolute image of concentration.
Well, there are no team orders here. Thomas Northug will, I think, try to do what he did in the quarterfinals, but that could be a dangerous plan here, because I think this is a quarterfinal where you need to wait a little bit.
Or David, I wonder if there are team orders. 4 Norwegians in this heat, 4 athletes can go through, with the 2 of them having the lucky losers, but the pace needs to be so fast. It needs to be ahead of 3:06.03.
That's Hadestad, that's Northug closest to you, and those 2, well, if the team orders are anything, somebody has actually got to sacrifice themselves.
And Thomas Northug, I think it's the youthful enthusiasm, the nervousness, he's just attacking and attacking as he did last time. Alex Harvey, for me, reads it the most sensibly. He knows that the rest will slow down a little towards the top of this rise.
Petter Northug in 3rd place, Toni Ketelai in the blue, just being overtaken there by Erik Bransdal, and Alex Harvey right at the back. But Harvey cannot afford, you can see, look how they're spread out now. Thomas Northug has put his foot to the floor.
He really has, but I think, believe it or not, that Alex Harvey, even at the back, has still got a chance of coming through this one.
Petter Northug, 50 kilometers per hour under the Wiesman Bridge. Now they go back into the next phase of the climbing here, and it's Hadderstad from Thomas Northug. Petter Northug, Bransdal trying to latch on. Alex Harvey finding it very hard to keep company, and Hadderstad, not the cleanest, not the most elegant. It's just brute force.
It's pure brutal. This pace is phenomenal. Alex Harvey up into fourth. I still think he's got a chance.
Well, Canada's leading sprinter and arguably leading distance runner at this particular moment, Alex Harvey. He knows this was happy hunting grounds for his dad so many years ago for Pierre. Now, can third and fourth close on the glide at all? Hadderstad being shadowed by Thomas Northug, who every time he steps out on the track these days is showing that what he did in Otterpur to get the victory was no fluke. Petter Northug suddenly going like a bat out of hell to move into third place.
Well, with Alex Harvey alongside him, he needed to find that turn of pace.
Now, what can they do? Because it's the first two by right who will go through.
But this is fast, David. 2:45. I think we could get four going through.
3:05.89. That is the time of the first heat won by Nikita Krukov. And 2:56.57. It's got to be absolutely full out here. And these three Norwegians, 3:02, 3:03, all 3:03. Are they all inside? They are.
They are. Harvey is going through. What a patient game he plays. He reads these sprints, I think, better than anybody.
Hadderstad, Northug, that's Northug, Thomas Northug ahead of Petter Northug, ahead of Alex Harvey, and they all go through to join Nikita Krukov and Federico Pellegrino in the final.
David, they've got less rest time, and Thomas Northug looked exhausted this time around.
So Norwegian men, Norwegian women